We were hoping to do 300,000 business owners. We had 683,000 business owners.
Wow.
I have to be so compelling that she turns off the stove, puts the baby in the little crib, sits on the couch, holds the remote and goes, I want to see what this guy has to say. Do you know how much time in 9 hours I spend making an offer? 12 minutes. I grew up in a trailer park, for God's sakes, right? People will buy from you, learn from you, follow you if they feel understood, not if they understand you.
That was Dean Graziosi, 30 years in marketing, Tony Robbins' business partner, and he started before the internet even existed. And his last virtual event, he expected 300,000 people to show up, yet 683,000 did, and 78% of them had never heard of him before. Today, we're talking about the 3-day event framework behind those numbers and why he never sells on day one, and the Alex Hormozi conversation that made him rewrite the entire script from scratch. And wait until you hear about what he said about the mom, the baby, and the stove. Let's get into it. Dean, so grateful to be here. Thanks for coming.
Oh, man, listen, I told you this before the camera went on. Stu, how long have we known each other? At least a decade, right?
Yeah.
We've built schools together.
Yeah.
And I said, what I love about our relationship, and I'm here to serve, whatever I can do, whatever line of expertise I have that I could share, there's nothing I'll hold back. You're such a dear friend. But I said, what a cool relationship we have. We don't have a relationship based on money.
No.
We don't need to have a relationship, but we've had a great one.
Yeah.
And with your amazing wife and with my wife. But I don't know, we built 2, 3, 4 schools over the years.
I was sharing with you because my wife Amy's in Kenya right now. And she's like, make sure Dean checks his email. I just sent him a video with
the principal saying thank you.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to say about you, you have such a kind heart. There's never been a time that I've asked you for a favor or said, could you come teach my team, that you've ever hesitated for a moment. So I just want to say, I really enjoyed this relationship, and anything I can do to support you, I'm here.
Well, I appreciate you, dude. And, you open up the studio. We're here in your HQ to do the interview today. And I'm, honored because when I think of you and your skill set, there is nobody better at being able to get a mass amount of people. We're not talking hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands. We're talking hundreds of thousands, oftentimes millions of people to a single event. And then to use that event to sell tens of millions of dollars of products. It's unparalleled. So you have just come off of a number of recent promotions that have been extraordinary, and they've been some of your best promotions you've ever done. And in our conversations, you're like, not only was it great on the front end, but like it's great on the back end. Retention's been incredible. So I want to just start, like, when you're thinking about a campaign or a promotion, where do you begin?
Great question. I would say I need to fall in love with solving the problem, then fall in love with the person I'm solving it for, and then make sure I fall in love with the product that can actually do it. And once I feel those three, I'm a machine. Like, I can't stop. We did the AI Advantage Summit.
Yeah.
It was one of our most successful ever, right? We were hoping to do 300,000 business owners. We had 683,000 business owners. So when Tony and I first started talking about the problem we wanted to solve is that everybody was catering to the 20% of early adopters who know they want Clawbot, they want Claude Code, they want the latest Chat GPT, they want to build agents, and I freaking love it, but it overwhelms me. I have angst every day with a new thing coming in.
And it's always like new stuff coming out every other week. Yeah.
Right? So when we saw that, then that was combined with Tony and I's, this is our opinion and not knocking anybody. It was either the people talking to the 20%, or people telling you how to use agents and AI to make 10 grand a month. So it felt like just make money, which the agents weren't even ready. It doesn't matter, right? They just felt a little,
Yeah.
And on the other side, it was just catering to the top. And all of a sudden there was just this 80% of business owners in the middle going, I'm using it to write emails and help me write my copy a little bit, but I know there's more and I'm feeling behind. So we knew the pain of that because it's my sister. It's his brother-in-law. It's everybody that's in business mastery, life mastery, and mastermind. They're like, I'm falling behind. This is stressful.
They're feeling that weight and that pressure.
They're feeling that weight. And if we don't do it, we're going to fall behind.
Right.
Right. So I put myself in that shoes and I felt it. And it's like, okay, that's the person I want to serve. I don't want to serve the early adopters. They got it.
Yeah.
I don't want to serve somebody who's really not in business and doesn't care. Maybe a better grocery list. Small business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, my people, your people.
Yeah.
Those of you watching, how do I help them? So then the second part is, what really do they need help with?
I think this is great. One of the things that I think you do really, really well that gets overlooked is you understand how to serve a large group of people. You said, the 20% are being served that are the early adopters that want to geek out, but it's this 80% of people that are being grossly underserved.
Great.
And
So
you're like,
this is good. This is a good question.
This is a huge opportunity here.
Okay, so I might have a little ADD here. So reeling back in. So the solution I want to share is, how do I craft a message for such a big group?
Yeah.
Some are just learning how to right click.
Yeah.
And some are using it as Google.
Right.
And some are already automating. How do I talk to all of them? And they go, this is my man.
Right.
Because what do we teach? Niche.
Yeah.
And then I'm going
super wide.
So I got to tell you where that comes from. I got asked that so much, and I used to think about it, and I know now because I'm older. No, this is really true. And you got to hear this. This is going to be an unfair advantage to all of you. Perk up and listen to this part. I started before the internet.
Right.
In infomercials.
Yeah.
So when you have an infomercial, you couldn't target market. I'd buy on CNN, Discovery, Fox News, all these stations.
And it's going out to everybody.
To everybody. Mom walking by, dad coming home from work. When you can't target, then you have to have terminology and a voice that gets a busy mom to stop, gets a dad to stop, gets like grandma to take a peek, and it's an infomercial. Nobody even wanted to watch infomercials. So here's what my unfair advantage is. Been in this for 30 years. Been in it before the internet. I would think of an infomercial, and this was my avatar in my head. Mom came home from work. She got the baby in the hand. She's trying to get dinner done quick. I have to be so compelling and meet her where she is emotionally that she turns off the stove, puts the baby in the little crib, sits on the couch, holds the remote and goes, I want to see what this guy has to say.
Wow.
And that's all I thought about when I wrote my infomercials, when I filmed. Without realizing it, I'm 30 years into this industry. I can look back and see that I fell in love with people's emotions to try to meet them where they were and show them a bigger future before I even talk about the product.
Right.
Right. And me understanding, because I grew up in a trailer park, for God's sakes, right? I didn't come from money. I know those emotions. So I realized what I did in the infomercial is I had such a wide net that I had to spark emotions that all kinds of different people grabbed the remote and sat on the couch.
That's how I grew up the opposite. I grew up like, focus on the niche.
Well, you know why though? Because you grew up with so this is the difference.
Yeah.
I didn't have the ability to niche. You do. So when people say to me, wow, marketing's hard, I'm like, don't cry at me. Like, you can find moms who do yoga that like peanut butter and jelly and sleep in on Saturdays. Like, don't tell me. Like, so it's like Tony and I joke, we had to walk uphill to school both ways in the snow.
Yeah.
You didn't. So it's like, of course you're going to start with a niche. But sometimes, and we teach new people have to start with a niche.
Yeah.
You can expand later. But over these years of building this muscle, I have the nerve to go after a wide thing. But so here's the opposite side of that. If you're really going to follow marketing guidelines, you must attract those you can help and repel those you can't.
Yep.
Right? So it would be a disservice if I get emotionally connected a bunch of people and then I pigeonhole them into one product that maybe only people with technology could do, or a certain age or a certain amount of money. I'd be horrible, right? Yeah. So then I have to think about the product that can serve the masses, where you would love it, your wife would love it, my mom, who's barely using chat for the first time, would love it. Then my brain goes to work. And I had about 150 hours crafting the script for the AI Summit. And I just kept, every time I did 50 interviews, because I didn't want to be a fugazi. In Italian, they say a fake. I didn't want to be a fake. So I took all that collective wisdom and I said, if I'm going to go after a big group of small business owners, what do all of them need? And after a lot of thinking and a lot of writing, I came up with, we all need more time. And what could buy you time back right now more than AI? In all your life, has anything ever brought you back more time?
No.
Honest and truly.
No.
Right? I use a silly analogy about modern technology has always brought us back more time.
Yeah.
And I went back to the 1800s, and in the 1800s, if a farmer wanted to plant an acre of corn by hand, it was 40 to 50 hours to just plant it.
Yeah.
Once the tractor came, it took 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Could a farmer without a tractor compete a year later?
No.
Right? And what did it do? It brought him back time, but besides that, it brought him back leverage, because now if he wanted to do 40 hours, that means he could do 80 acres?
Right. A heck of a
Times
lot
two,
more.
right? So I knew with all the 50 interviews that if we helped them build a thought partner, a deep clone that understood their business, their life, their constraints, I could buy them back time and leverage no matter where they were. So I was able to make a promise to everybody. If you're an expert, you shouldn't be here.
Right.
But if you're an intermediate, beginner, in the middle someplace, I promise you, if you follow the system, we're going to buy you back time. And then you can leverage that time for your business, your life, your family. So not only did I go after a big group of people, we've created a product for a big group of people. Does that make sense?
And an outcome that was relevant for a big group of people that everybody gets and understands immediately. Hey, Dean's about to break down his 3-day event framework. And this is the exact system behind how he got 683,000 people registered. So if you're watching this somewhere where you can't take notes, like in the car or on a run, don't sweat it, because I put everything together from today in a free resource kit. It's all linked up in the description, so just follow along and grab the notes later. Where do you begin when it comes to writing that? Because I mean, you got a blank slate, you know, the outcome is saving people.
I really don't have a blank slate anymore after 20 years of doing these launches.
Yeah.
I know the outcome of day one, the outcome of day two, the outcome. I know the flow, the formula. It's just different messaging. So it's kind of a template.
You have like a framework then?
I have a framework.
Okay. Yes. And so what does that look like? Because you mentioned like day one, day two, day three. It's essentially day one, we're starting wide and it's narrowing it down.
It's a great way to look at it.
You know, into day three. So can you kind of talk me through what does that look like?
Okay, so I'll tell you some other things. Day one, the people who are advanced, it's about 4 to 6% of the people get frustrated. They want to go faster. Give me the freaking secret.
And they're probably in the comments like,
they're in the secret, like, come on, Dean, I love you, man, but get to it, get to it, get to it. And what I always tell my team, even with AI, we had about 10% of, let's just say it, badasses on that new AI, better than me, right?
Yeah.
They're like, Dean, give me the next prompt. I want to know the hottest new tool. And I even said, I'm like, guys, if you're looking for the hottest new tool, there's ton of YouTube videos. You should go check that out. It's not why we're here. I had the patience to know who I wanted to serve. And I knew they needed the philosophy. Like first they needed to know why this industry, why Tony and I, why now, and why they need it. That was the first 30 minutes. So they got no value yet, but those that came that were just saying, should I do AI? They're like, by the time the 30 minutes was up, they were like, I must.
That first 30 minutes is creating buy-in for the idea.
For my ideal client.
Yeah.
And it also probably drives away the people that shouldn't be there. And that's okay. Not super tactical, just for our ideal client. Go get a win tonight. So we taught something. So that night they could go prompt and use it and come back the next day and go, I already saved an hour. So that was kind of day one. And it's like, I've tried this before. I've already failed. Do I have enough time for this? Seems overwhelming. Maybe I'm too old. It's the same. So I weave that through the entire day.
Is that with stories?
With stories, unless if you watch me, it doesn't seem like I'm following a formula. I will solve all of those things.
Yeah.
But I'll weave them through the day. I'll tell my personal story. I'll tell Tony's story, but only weaving it through the day. I'll have the right amount of success stories. So I always look at the outcome. At the end of the day one, I want the right people to still be there.
Yeah.
Number two, I want them to realize what this is, why they need it, and how come we're the ones that should teach them. And like almost they started the day with their arms crossed. And by the end of the day, they're like, this is pretty damn cool. It's free and I got some good value and I'm going to go do this thing.
Yep.
But I never sell anything on day one. And where I watch a lot of people mess it up because the most people show up on day one.
Right.
And a lot of times by the time you're done with day one, if you do it right, we'll have thousands, because hundreds of thousands of people live.
Yeah.
We'll have thousands of people say, dude, if you got a product, drop that link, drop that like, and day one is pure value. And you have to have the resilience to say, I want people to come. If they buy my product, they're happy as heck.
Yeah.
If they don't buy my product, they're happy as heck.
It's patience in that moment.
It's such patience.
Yeah.
Because I've watched people rob the model and then they sell at the end of day one. It's like, well, that's when the most people were here.
Yeah.
It's like, you miss the whole point of reciprocity selling, relationship selling, giving before you receive, over deliver. You miss all those words. You use them, but you're not actually applying them.
And then, so the focus shifts in day two. What are you thinking about there?
So first off, I want to deliver so much value. They can't wait to show up on day two. Day two, there's a lot of ways you can go. You could back all the way up, and Barry Baumgartner is the best in the world at a through line. My through line for the entire AI event, everything I looked through from every guest speaker, every single person was more time plus more leverage equals accelerated success.
Right.
So everything I taught had to be through that filter. But I watch people that are amazing, that are my friends, and they'll bring in speakers, and the speakers bring people in different directions. If they got a new book, they're focused on the book, and you get the book or the free download or the
bunch of random.
Yeah. And it's everybody I asked, I spent at least 3 hours with.
Wow.
And I showed them Tell me what you have that can buy back people time and leverage.
Huh.
Well, I got this thing. I'm like, no, that's too advanced. Well, I got this thing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that's it. That's it. So every speaker, I want when you're done with the speaker, go, damn, I can actually get more time with this damn thing.
Yeah.
So what I hope, this is a fantasy and I want everybody to hear this. I hope by the time I get to the offer, people are going, well, it's about time you got this. That's how I fantasize in my head, that I want to deliver so much that you got value, you see it, and we're the obvious choice to help you get there. So day 2 usually to me is I will always teach on how selling is service.
Yeah.
That's always a part of my day 2, because a lot of people have an apprehension to selling. I get it. If you were sold a bad car or sold something that doesn't work or pushed on something, I get it. But when you sell something that could change somebody's life, you should feel bad not to do it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I truly feel it. I love the product we sold. I don't just like it. I love it. I'm a product of it. I save time because of it. So I couldn't wait to get to the offer, right? Some people are like, oh, I got to get to the offer. I'm like, I can't wait, right? But day 2 is more of a representation of what's possible. Day 1 is the theory of it. Day 2 is when it starts to come to life. So the guests I have on day 2 aren't just talking about the theory. They're showing what changed in their life, and then they're giving them the blueprint on how they did it.
So it's like real world application.
It is. And I usually put someone on the beginning. Am I getting too granular?
No, this is great.
So I usually put somebody at the beginning of day 2 that will open up their mind.
Okay.
So I put Arthur Brooks.
Yeah.
Somebody just to open up their mind to go, God, I have to stop playing small.
Yeah.
And then I get somebody, and myself, I'll teach more tactical, and I'll have somebody to go, this might sound confusing, but let me show you how I grew 1 million followers in 6 months by using that. I'm going to show you. It's way simpler than you think. And we had this wonderful girl named Sabrina share something that was future pacing. Most of them couldn't do it.
Right.
They saw it was possible.
Right.
And then I bring it back to why not start with the foundation?
Yeah.
And then day 2 is the day I make the offer.
So you making the offer at the end of the day?
No.
Okay.
No, about 3/4 of the way through.
Got it.
So I usually make an offer and then come back with a guest or come back with some hot seats.
Got it. And so the logic around the day 2 making the offer, then not waiting, say, till day 3, is that it gives you the opportunity to field a lot of the questions that may be coming through.
That's some of it. And I just have this, I'm in a place in my life where if you, and I am not against webinars, and I'll shoot them. And so this is not anti, but what I don't like about a really high, some of you are going to shoot me, but what I don't like about a very high converting webinar, that's strategic and very sales oriented, is you create 2 kinds of people, buyers and those that feel like they wasted 90 minutes of their life.
Interesting.
You buy, you're excited.
Right.
If you don't, you're like, man, I thought this was going to be a training. It got positioned as a training. It was actually just a 90-minute pitch. So you don't have the opportunity to ripen green fruit.
Right.
So I'm going to give you a statistic that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Those 680,000 people came. Some of them just went through 3 amazing days with great guests and got a bunch of stuff. And some of them were like, this is all I need. I can start from the event.
Yeah.
They didn't buy from us.
Right.
But when we do an event, within 12 months, the average value of those people double.
Wow.
So whatever we make on a launch, it doubles.
Wow.
Okay. Why? Because I delivered so much value to you. And when you come on my list, we send mostly value emails. Every once in a while we make it. We make like 3-4 offers a year.
Right.
Okay. So you come on my list, it's like, I didn't buy these guys. I wonder, oh, this is valuable. Next week, oh, this is valuable. I don't know if it's 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. They're like, I got so much for these guys. I got to give them something. And what we do in the invisible that nobody sees in 3 days, picture this. We go 9 hours in 3 days. Do you know how much time in 9 hours I spend making an offer? 12 minutes in 9 hours.
Yeah.
What's the rest? It's all value.
Right.
My delusion and plus data is some people are like me. I'm more like, if I like it, I'm in. I'm a emotional purchaser.
Yeah.
Right? I gotta buy it, right? My sister's more logical. She might go, I like it, but great. We gave you love. You didn't come, you got value, and we're going to keep sending you value. And where we have a tail, I call it ripening green fruit. Anybody can pick the apples that are fresh, but who has the patience to go, they're green, let me water it, let me take care of it, let me prune it, let me pull the weeds.
Yeah.
And eventually those people become our clients.
Well, and I think too, like with the mass amount of people that you are working with, that's a lot of green fruit, because when 680,000 people.
Okay, 680,000 people came. You ready for this one? Between my database and Tony's, it's probably the biggest databases in our industry.
Yeah.
It's millions of people.
Totally.
78% of the people came to the event were new, didn't know us.
What?
They might not know who we are, but they've never bought a product, never been on our email list, never been in our system.
Dude, that's
Okay?
bonkers.
So if you think 78%, 78% are like, this sounds good, but is this stuff real? And who's this big guy,
is this?
Tony? I
Yeah.
heard he just walks on fire. Like, that's great. You got lots of value, and we're going to continue giving value, and hopefully we earn your business. And it's patience. It's the long game.
When you framed up the offer, what were you selling people essentially? Like, yeah, you obviously, we've been talking about time and how.
Just think, if you think about it, right? You've heard the analogy a million times, selling the drill or the hole.
Yeah.
AI is the drill. Saving time is the hole. Like, nobody goes drill shopping. They're buying something because they need to make a hole.
Yeah.
So it was framed around more time, more leverage equals amplified success, but we're going to use AI to show you how to get there.
And the messaging for that is so simple, you know, because it really, at the end of the day, the deliverables, so to speak, are important, but not as important as just people feeling the sense of like, I buy this, I save time. And what does that time then make possible?
So I've had a relationship with Alex Hormozi for about 5 years, and I have a similar relationship I have with you.
Yeah.
Right? Anytime I can help the guy, I do, and vice versa. So when he was going to do his launch, we jammed, and I gave him everything I had and helped him in any way possible. And we always, so before I did the AI event, I flew down, spent a day jamming with him, showing what I was doing. He's like, this is great. It's going to do good. We're having fun. And then he said something that was really powerful. As we grow, and I know I did it with Mastermind, when you have clients you care about, and you probably face this too, you want to do everything for them.
Right.
You want to be turnkey. You need a CRM? I got that. You need AI? I got that. I got that. I built that. I did that. It's like, I got it. I want to serve. And with Mastermind, I love that company, and we're simplifying because it's such an incredible company, teaching people how to, sell what they know. I realized in that conversation that through my desire to serve, I added too many things to Mastermind. We did everything. So they'd come in. So then when I go to make the offer, it's like, we have the education, Tony and I teach it, but we have the portal, which is your business hub. And we have Gigi, our AI that was programmed to think like Tony and I. And we have a marketplace. So this is what I was thinking. This is what he said. And this is how I applied it. He said, what happens with people like you who care so much, not that he doesn't care. Yeah. He's like, you start adding stuff, and then you have to explain 10 things, 10 different ways. He said, what if you only had to have one thing that you explain 10 different ways?
Right.
And it hit me. I came home. I didn't sleep for 2 days. I rewrote the entire script based on that. And I made it through time, more leverage, more success, right? So everything I wrote was, how do I find 10 ways to explain how exciting it is to have more time? Rather than saying, you get our special AI that Tony, and we built the software for you. Let me explain the software. And then we did with this other thing. And then it's like,
and it does this, and it does that, and it does this.
And all of a sudden you're like, wait, well, I'm confused. Our whole offer was, and we're doing it again in April, our whole offer was simply this: spend 30 days with us. We're going to do 6 events in 30 days so you keep this momentum. At the end, I guarantee you'll save, if you do the work, you'll save 15 hours a week, or call and I'll give you a full refund.
Wow.
And it was, ready for this? In 30 years of doing this, lowest refund rate of any product I've ever had in my life. Nobody refunded.
Wow.
Because everybody got their time back. If they did the work, they got the time back. But think of the offer. The only thing it was is it was actually 35 days. Spend 35 days. We'll show you how to build this clone so it knows you deeply, and save 15 hours to do whatever you want with.
Per week.
Yeah, 15 hours a week.
And I think too, the other thing that is really interesting for me is the delivery time is so much shorter than typical other programs that you've sold. You've typically sold programs.
So I got on this crazy kick, and the team wanted to make it 6 months originally, and then we went to 3. I'm like, no, we're doing it in 30.
Wow.
Because here, they don't have time to wait 6 months. That's literally the way I felt. That's number one, is you don't have time. If I'm really going to help you, it's like, if you weren't using AI right now, I'm like, Stu, you don't have 6 months, dude. 30 days. You need to be effective and efficient with AI in 30 days, dude. You're going to miss it, right?
Yeah.
So I started thinking, condense time, keep the momentum, get it done in a short period of time, and simultaneously, you're going to take action immediately. So the way I thought about it is, they did a 3-day event. Usually the fulfillment starts and it rolls in. I'm like, it's Saturday. We start Tuesday.
Right.
Let's freaking go.
Yeah. I want to shift gears.
I hope this is helping. I know it's...
Dude, this is amazing. I love deconstructing it and breaking it down.
I don't want to get too in the weeds, but I think it's good.
I'm always amazed at your ability on a front end to be able to get 680,000 people register for an event and 78% of them being new people that have never heard of you. So your front end acquisition strategy is just unparalleled. And so I'm just curious how you think about ads and how you approach the masses when it comes to a message like this for a specific event or promotion that you're doing.
So I think it goes back to what we said earlier. I first create something that I know is going to change their life.
Yeah.
I get amped up. Then I have to create something that fits that big group of people. And then I got to enter conversations already going on in their head. Two things I always say to myself when I write an ad, think about an ad, film an ad, is I have to enter conversations they're having, not me, them. And second, people will buy from you, learn from you, follow you if they feel understood, not if they understand you. And a lot of times people don't realize they're sharing, hey, I've been doing this for 22 years. I discovered this thing. This thing can help you. I see ads like that. I'm like, they do okay, but they're not.
It's all me, me, me.
It's because, and you might respect that person. But when someone goes, I get it, Stu. You're in this, you're doing several $1 million a year and you want to be a great dad. And even though you're the happiest guy I've ever seen, there's times when no one's watching, when you're like, am I really balancing this? Like, am I going to get to be 55, 60 and look back and say, I missed it with my kids and messed that up? Like, if I meet that, I'm not saying you feel that way, but if I meet you there, immediately you're like, this guy gets me.
Right.
Right. And I don't do it as a ploy. I was broke. I knew what it was like to wish my mom didn't work 3 jobs to make $90 a week and struggle and get evicted from our trailer park and have to move into my like, I still remember those emotions. So I'm not doing it as like, aha, this is a tactic to get you to buy. It's like, if you're struggling with AI, I know you're watching everything. You got a cousin that's telling you you're crazy, you're not doing it. And you look at it looks like the Matrix to you and you're overwhelmed, but you also know your business isn't going to survive if you do it and you feel stuck. I get it.
I'm realizing as we talk, you have a gift for putting yourself in the shoes of the people that you want to serve. And you've brought it up a couple of times where you identify particular people, who would fit that avatar. And then you have this ability to immediately go into like, what is their life like right now? And you connect and you help them feel seen, heard, and understood. And I know from my experience, like when you do those 3 things, when they feel seen, heard, and understood, there's like immediate trust that begins to happen. Because as you said, you're giving voice to the thing that they can't even sometimes explain themselves. And it naturally leads them to want to learn more because for the first time, they're feeling like somebody gets them.
We usually do a launch a year apart because it's so big. So first time ever, we're doing it 6 months apart because the demand was so high for AI and so much has changed. So we're going to do a mastermind launch and an AI launch and a Tony launch. Every year we do one of each.
Yeah.
But in April, we're going to go back. So I'll let you know if 6 months is too short of a time. But my intuition, I just switched it 2 weeks ago. I just feel like it's moving so quick. The anxiety is growing. My sister has a several $1 million a year business. She does great. I've been telling her, there's like 4 things in her business where AI would just explode it for her. And she's like, oh, Dean, that's your business. And my sister called me 2 weeks ago and said, Dean, I'm going to fall behind if we don't do it. Can you help me? And it just made me realize there's millions of my sister out there that need us. You and I are on the forefront with so many cutting edge people. We feel behind if we don't have Clawbot doing 20 of our jobs right now. That's not where the masses are at. The masses are using chat right now to write emails and help them with copy. They're a little bit above using it like Google, but really haven't realized how to unlock it, make it a part of their life, and literally buy that time back.
We even have I think of conversations we have in our office where some of the people on our team, their spouse, they're not even allowed to use AI at work. Like it's banned. And it's crazy to think like that, that is a situation.
Oh,
I know.
Do not work faster.
I know.
Do not do twice the work in half the time.
It's crazy. And so when our team members are explaining to their spouses, what we're doing, they're just blown away. They have no idea because it's not on their radar. They're not allowed to.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, but to your point, things are moving fast. You do an amazing job. Even there, you're talking about your sister and you're putting yourself in her world. And I can only imagine how that influences the type of ads you're creating and the strategy.
It does. And I think a good test, when will you share this?
Before your event. We'll share it before your event.
No, my whole point is, and I hope everybody comes, it's a free event, but more so than that, you should all of you should look at all the ads that we're doing.
Yeah.
You could copy them, transcribe them, put them in chat, right? Or Claude or whatever you use, and say, rewrite what Dean said for my company.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's where we're at. You know, some of the unfair advantages we have are out there.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch of people sending me, there was a group, people were using they call it my heart-centered marketing that met people where they are, that put myself in their shoes and sell with love with Hormozi's data-driven regret, and one other word, marketing. And people were building that as their marketing advisor.
Oh,
so
my
it was
goodness.
a mix between me and Hormozi, and it was writing their stuff. I'm like, maybe I got to get a new profession. My unique abilities kind of out there. You know what I mean?
It is a wild time, but you know, I'm so grateful to you for just the way in which you show up, you give, you pour into people, you care deeply about people. As we look to wind down, I just want to get your perspective with all the changes that are happening from a marketing perspective. You know, it's no longer the old school infomercials.
Yeah.
Now the world is moving so much faster. Things are changing quicker. Where is your head at as far as marketing as we move forward as business owners?
There's foundational pieces that will be here since the beginning of time.
Mm.
I would bet to say there are words that come out of your mouth and words that come out of my mouth that someone said in a piazza in Rome thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Right? So there is the art of human connection, the heart of emotions, the heart of meeting people where they are, the heart of truly caring about people, the heart of truly delivering a great product. I don't think that ever changes. The delivery systems are going to change. How we create it, the speed of implementation is faster. I believe all marketing is going to get exponentially better because anybody watching can market like I can right now.
Right.
My stuff's out there. You could deconstruct it. You could do it. You can market like Tony, like Alex Hormozi, like you.
Right.
So if those are going to be exposed, then everybody's got to get better. And I think the people who are going to last are the trusted brands. The people who stay true to who they are. Even if you use AI to go faster, amplify, augment, automate, right? Agentic, wherever you go, I still believe those core principles are going to last because think how much changed since Rome.
Yeah.
And we're still here similar ways to get people persuading or influencing people to say yes.
Well, and it comes back to something you said right at the beginning is that we all experience the same core emotions.
Yeah.
And when you understand those emotions deeply, it doesn't matter what the platforms or tools are, you're going to be able to connect with people. And that ultimately, at the end of the day, that connection leads to trust and trust leads to sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dean, this has been amazing. Where can people go to join the summit?
Oh, love to have you. AIAdvantageSummit.com. It's April 23rd through the 25th, about 3 hours a day. Tony, myself, Igor, our partner, and we got some really fun guests coming. So it'll be good.
I would encourage people to come, not only participate, to save 15 hours a week themselves, but to also just watch the magician.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
Watch the ads, watch how we onboard, watch what we do day one, and just look at it through the lens of, I'm not doing this as a ploy. Like it is an event that truly serves. And what is a purchase? It's an exchange of value, right?
Yeah.
I spent decades learning how to teach. Tony spent decades learning how to teach and building up goodwill. So we know how to teach to go faster and you exchange them. It's an exchange.
Yeah.
And when you look at it that way, it changes your whole outlook on this whole industry.
Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to everybody participating in the summit.
All right, man. See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, real quick, if you've built an audience, but turning that audience into consistent income still feels confusing or inconsistent, then you need to join us for the Audience to Income Summit. It's a live virtual event and it's totally free, happening April 8th through the 10th. And we're bringing in top creators like Russell Brunson, Amy Porterfield, Jeff Walker, and more than 20 others who are sharing exactly what's working right now to get discovered, get paid, and to keep getting paid. Now, this is no fluff, just real strategies. So grab your seat for free at membership.io/summit. The link is also in the description. I'll see you there. That was Dean Graziosi. Meet people where they are emotionally. deliver so much value they can't help but trust you, and have the patience to ripen the green fruit. That's 30 years of marketing in 3 sentences. If this conversation shifted how you think about launching and selling, I want to encourage you to hit subscribe because we got new episodes every week. And if you want to go deeper with Dean's frameworks, well, I put together a free resource kit with his info, today's show notes, and his 3-day event playbook. Just scan the QR code you see on the screen or grab the link in the description. Now, next week, we got Rachel Rogers. She is the founder of Hello7, which is an 8-figure business. And she just recently ran a $155,000 Kickstarter campaign in public where everyone could see the numbers. And for 19 days, it looked like it was going to be a total flop. You won't want to miss what happened next. I'll see you next time.